Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are, whenever you're watching this. This is Floating in Dreams, and today's video is going to be my top 10 favorite eyeshadow palettes for the summertime. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. Today's video is going to be my top 10 favorite eyeshadow palettes for summer. I did a video like this last year and I didn't check it, so I don't know how much of an overlap there's going to be, but I'll make sure to link it in the description box down below. So if you want to see more recommendations when it comes to perfect palettes for summer, I'm going to help you there. But I just know there's going to be palettes here that I haven't mentioned before because they simply weren't out yet. So maybe this is very different from what I shared with you last year. Maybe it's pretty much the same. But yeah, when it comes to summer, my makeup preferences definitely tend to shift a little bit when it comes to eyeshadow, and I thought we could chat about that. In case you're new here, hi, my name is Maaike. I'm from the Netherlands. I love coming on here to chat about eyeshadow palettes, doing Essence and Catrice reviews, and getting the use out of my makeup. And I have fair skin with a cool to neutral undertone, which makes me a snow angel. And if you'd like to join the Snow Angel Club, then please hit the subscribe button down below, because I would love for you to join my little family on here. So yes, top 10 summer eyeshadow palettes. I definitely have some preferences like that go round year round, but in the summertime I definitely like going for slightly different color stories, and just expect a bit more color and expect a bit more warmth, because even though I have very fair skin, because I have more of a neutral undertone, I can get away with warm tones. I just don't always find them flattering on myself. But in the summertime, even though it doesn't really look like it, I do tend to have a slightly darker skin tone in the summertime than I do in the winter time. So in the winter, I go like translucent pale, but in the summer, when I get a little bit more color to my skin, I definitely feel that I need to do my makeup in a slightly different way for it to look pretty. And then I like going for warmer tones for sure. So expect a lot of warm tones, expect some color, and then we can definitely get stuck in. Oh, and by the way, yes, in case you were wondering, I have an announcement to make. Next month in August, we're doing eyeshadow palette month again, like I've been doing for a couple of years now. So in August, every single video that goes live, save for like my usual like series that I do every single month, every video that's gonna go live is going to be eyeshadow palette related. And you're going to get an extra video from me as well. If all goes well, if all goes according to plan, you'll get 5 videos a week from me in the month of August. So I hope you like to stay tuned for that. Let's get to these palettes. But hold up, before we get to my top 10 favorite summer palettes, I actually realized after I had filmed the video that one of the palettes I wanted to talk about in the video wasn't there. And then as I was going through my collection again, I found another palette that I thought I could include. So this is not top 10, but top 11. Plus, if I sound a little nasally in this part, I'm still recovering from the big C. So I've been pretty ill all week, but I did want to get this video up. So yeah, that's it. I hope to be back with videos again regularly from now on, but I really needed to take a break. I was very ill. So yeah, that's what's going on. So let me talk to you about the palette I forgot about, which was this one. And the reason why I forgot about it, this is so silly. This is the Natasha Denona Mini Zendo, and this is one that's quite new to me. I haven't used it yet, but I wanted to feature this palette, and the reason why I forgot is because it's so small. I usually use like a tote bag or something to hold the makeup around to my couch when I do these chatty videos, and this one was stuck in a crevice of my tote bag. So that's why I forgot to mention this one. But yeah, Natasha Denona Mini Zendo. To me, this is like the more warm toned sister of the Mini Retro. And that's also why I got it, because I feel that some of these shades can very nicely complement what is going on in the Mini Retro. And that's why I ended up buying it in the end. This is one that was still really sparking my interest, and that's why I purchased it. You get some warm toned peachy shades here, which I think are perfect for summer. Then we have this icy silvery shade, but it has a bit of a green undertone to me. So to me it's like the foam you get on a wave, if that makes sense. So to me this is very sort of like the more smoky, more sort of like, you know, evening time beach holiday, you're going out to dinner kind of palette. I'm not sure if that's very specific, but I do like it. You get a good transition, you get something to deepen it up and smoke things out. So yeah, I think that this is a great holiday travel palette as well. So that's why the Natasha Denona Mini Zendo, I didn't want to have you miss out on that recommendation as a good summer palette. But then, after I filmed the video, I swatched this because I owned the Melt Blueprint stack before, and I just wanted to have a quick swatch around just to see if the quality is the same as I remembered. It is. This was sent to me by a subscriber. Lovely Esther sent this to me, and this is what the palette looks like. And I was like, you know, these browns with these blues, like, if there was a theme to this video, you'll see in a minute when you see the other palettes. If there is a theme to my perfect summer palettes, it's warm tone neutrals with a pop of blue or green. And I think this nicely fits the bill there as well. So this is another one where I'm like, you know, you get those really nice ocean blue kind of shades. And you have these really nice, especially this like hot wire shade. It's such a pretty, like, bronzy, warm-toned. It just really reminds me of, like, the beach and then the ocean. And that's why I thought the Blueprint by Melt had to get an honorable mention in today's video. And now we're going to go back to the couch, and I'm going to show you the remaining 9 palettes that this video was all about to begin with. Number 1. And you're wondering, Micah, ColourPop Dream Street, we can no longer buy this. Well, I did a thing. And so for me, it's not about the palette, it's about the colors that are inside it, because the first thing I wanted to share here is the color teal. Now, I love teal turquoisey eyeshadow on myself any time of day. Like teal and taupe, navy, those are like my favorite colors to wear on my eyes because I have brown eyes. And brown eyes and teals and navies are just a match made in heaven. But especially in the summertime, I like going for teals because teals are a mix of a blue and a green. So a teal can be like these like darker, more saturated colors, but you can also go more aqua turquoisey leaning almost. And these colors just remind me of the ocean, which is why I love teals, especially brighter ones in the summertime. And then you just have these kind of shades for something more smoky to deepen things up. Now this palette I put together myself. It's 9 shades from the ColourPop High Tide, and then 3 shades, the aqua bluey shades, from the original Dream Street palette. But I just made myself a nice little 12 pan. I still have that like shimmer from the Dream Street here as well for a little bit of like added brightness there. But yeah, a full teal palette is like, it doesn't exist like this yet, but I was able to create it myself. And I absolutely love it. Then I mentioned warm tones and I mentioned teals. So my replacement recommendation for the original Dream Street, which in case you're unfamiliar with the palette, it had a lot of like corally, browny, warm toned nudes. And then it had 3 like tealy shades in there. But this exists. The Game Beauty Victory palette, which is a 10 pan, so it's not as many shades as the original ColourPop palette. But it is warm tone neutrals with a pop of teal. And then this white isn't a white, it's like a duochrome flip that has that bluish green flip. So I would say if you were looking for a recommendation that could replace the Dream Street, the Game Beauty Victory palette is definitely one. And I know I didn't feature this one last year because I bought this one after I did my video last year because I didn't get it until like August, September-ish. So I know I haven't shown you this before in a video like this, but yeah, you get these like really nice saturated orange tones, some really nice golds, this mustard shade. So you can do like a full-on neutral look with this. You can go super warm if you'd like, and then use the pops of teal on the lower lash line or for like a nice halo eye. Like you could do a full teal look with this as well. So it's a nice, versatile, very curated palette. Great quality. This is my favorite Game Beauty palette of the 3 that I've tried, and the packaging is just absolutely gorgeous, so I had to give it a mention here. Now this is a palette that I suspect may have been in last year's video, but I'm not entirely sure. But one of my favorite warm tone color stories is this one from Juvia's Place, the Saharan 2. I don't think it's still available though. I'm terribly sorry, but I mean, do we sense a theme here? Warm tone neutrals with a pop of tealy blue. Well, these are more blue toned. They're more like minty leaning almost. So this is a little bit more vibrant in the blue spectrum. It's not as green toned. But this I love because you only get 3 mattes and 6 shimmers. I prefer a shimmer over a matte. So this is going to give you that really nice, like especially when the sun hits it, this is especially pretty. And these 2 shades here at the top are also a duochrome, which I love. And this is one of the best mattes that Juvia's Place has ever done. I keep saying it. So you can pull this into more of like a cranberry shade if you'd like to. So it's more berry leaning, which is a stunning, stunning warm tone for the summertime for sure. Or you can go more like orangey peachy with this. Again, you have those blues and some fun duochromes to play around with. So the Juvia's Place Saharan 2, stunning palette for the summertime. I should whip this out again at some point these couple of months. Next up is Nabla's Cutie Analog palette. This is my favorite warm tone palette, so it had to get a mention today. If we're discussing summer palettes that have warm tones, then I need to mention my favorite warm tone palette. One thing I love about this is how curated it is. It's only 6 shades, but you get these like orange tones that aren't too orange. They're a bit more of a reddish undertone. And these 2 darker browns really make the palette for me because these are a little bit more neutral, cool toned leaning, which I love. And then you get some really stunning, really, really pretty shimmers in here as well that really complement the palette very well. This is one of the best color stories that Nabla has ever done, and I truly adore it. But I also like some bright, fun shades in the summertime, and that's where the Unearthly Cosmetics Strawberry Milkshake palette comes in. This is very out there. I'm going to be trying it out for the first time this month. So if you stay tuned for my 10 palette review, which should be the last video that goes live in July, then definitely stay tuned for my full thoughts on the formula, because they did change the formula and the pan size ever since I tried them for the first time. I got this in earlier in the year, and these like pinks and reds and like these vibrant greens scream summer to me. Like, it's a popsicle in an eyeshadow palette. What's not to love? And then I think one of my favorite neutral palettes for the summertime, and this may be because I first used it in the summer, because I bought this, I think, when I was in Paris a couple of years ago. I think it must have been 2019. But yeah, and I tried it and I fell in love with it, and it's the Natasha Denona Gold palette. And this palette, it has warm tones, but it's more like mustardy browns. We again get the pops of tealy greens. Like I said, we have a theme, and it's summer, and then these are the kind of shades I love going for the summertime for sure. This palette also has some like fun duochrome flippy shades that you can rope in. My favorite shade has been Kava, which is right here, which is one of the sparkliest neutral shades you've ever found. I'm not sure on the status of this palette. Is this still for sale? Because it seems to be going in and out of stock for like a few months now. I don't know what's going on. So is this truly discontinued? I don't know. But if you were looking for a good neutral tone palette that isn't super warm toned, but is more neutral with mustards and then teals, this one. Now, another alternative to the original ColourPop Dream Street for me has been the Naked Wild West. Again, maybe I've mentioned this last year, I'm not entirely sure, but here again, we get the warm tone neutrals with the pops of greeny teals. Now, these teals are more green toned leaning though. The ones in the original ColourPop palette were a bit more blue toned, I feel. This is definitely more of a green vibe, but yeah, I really like it. And this now comes in a mini format. This was limited edition, so I don't think you can still buy it, but Urban Decay did release a mini palette with 6 shades that came from this palette. And I love how you get some cool tones in here. Like, you get these gray tones in it, which truly make it more unique in my collection for sure. You can go super warm toned if you'd like to, but you definitely don't have to with this one, which is why I love it. Something more affordable then, Catrice Hint of Mint. And I now realize I definitely have a theme. Woo! Warm tone neutrals with a pop of something green, anyone? Oh, wow. It's either a pop of blue or a pop of green or a pop of teal. That's what we're going for. But yeah, these 3 shades are absolutely stunning. I love this palette when I tried it. This was released earlier this year, so again, a palette I'm for sure I didn't feature last year. You get not that many mints though. It's called the Hint of Mint, which I think is very aptly named because this is truly the only green you get. You do get a matte minty shade, but it's not the best. Like, it definitely needs a base for it to stick down. And then you do get this shimmer, which has a green sheen to it. And there's a hint of green in this shade as well. So not necessarily a palette you can do a full green look with. That's going to be a little bit difficult, but it's really in the combination of these neutrals and the way this swatches, and especially these shades. For once, a Catrice eyeshadow palette actually goes deep enough for it to be versatile, because you have shades that can be used as liners, that can really be used to deepen something up. And very often these Pro Slim palettes from Catrice, they are lovely, but very often they are just not the best in terms of, you know, how everything comes together, I should say. So the Catrice Pro Hint of Mint, lovely palette for sure, and I can't recommend it enough. And finally, another sort of bright pop of something colorful, the Ace Beauty Oceanic palette is my favorite blue-green palette. And if we're gonna wear the colors of the ocean, why not make it summer? So that's why I definitely wanted to feature this here. It's got some really nice, like almost neon-y pops of color in here, which I love, but it also has the grungy shades, so you can really make it deep and smoky. So depending on your mood and your aesthetic, you can take this into so many different directions. I still have the old Ace Beauty formula, but they now have redone their palettes, and apparently the formula is even better, I've been told. These are the 10 palettes that I wanted to pick for the summertime. Let me know in a comment down below what your favorite picks are to be using in the summer. I don't really stick to seasons when it comes to doing my makeup, but I always like doing these videos because it really tells me like what I'm drawn to when it comes to like what a season brings me and how I view that. So for me, it's really helpful to get a good grasp on my makeup collection and what I like going for. I mean, I will wear regardless of what the season is. I'll just wear something. Like if I want to wear a full-on smoky eye with blacks and it's like the middle of July and a heat wave, I will still go for it. But if you tell me like which color stories really scream summer at me, then these would be the ones. So I thank you so very much for joining me today. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more by me. I make several videos a week, and I hope you'd like to stay tuned for more, and I hope to see you very, very soon. Bye!